Hey there, Baconites. Yep, that's right. I said Baconites. It's February, the month of romance. I'm here with the Director of Programming, Sierra Beard. Thank you so much for being on the show with me today.
Thank you.
So, what have you got coming up for Bacon? Because you've been pretty busy so far. So what's new with you? What's new with the news for Bacon so far?
Oh my god, we have so much going on. Like, there's so much chaos and so much fun stuff coming out, it's not even funny. So, as of right now, because we're still in the process of getting a few more people in there, but as of right now, we have our cosplay guests, which are Piscotti Props, he was there with us last year, Naughty the Cosplayer, Cosmic Ash, and Oshley Cosplay. So I'm super excited to announce they're all going to be there for our judges for the cosplay contest. And then we have confirmed Seattle Video Game Orchestra is coming back again to do a set for us.
Right.
I'm super excited for that one. And we actually have a new guest, Cosplay Repair Station. And they are actually going to be helping us with our cosplay contest. And our cosplayers just helping repair like clothing and wigs and being there constantly, and they're going to actually have their own little spot that you can go get repairs with.
Yeah. And I mentioned in the mini cast that was just a little bit ago that I actually had a good encounter with them back in October. Had a nice encounter where my belt had fallen apart and they were able to fix me up pretty easily. So, looking forward to being able to see... I mean, I don't want anybody's costumes to fall apart, but if they do, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody back up and running again real quick.
Yeah, I definitely want our cosplayers to definitely utilize them during the whole entire convention, because it's a new thing that we're having here, and it'd be so awesome. Their staff is prepared and ready and getting everything prepared for May, so they're excited. I'm more than excited. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them before, but I'd never really had any reason to go to them until one day, just walking around, and all of a sudden my gun's on the floor, and I'm trying to figure out what just happened. So they glued me back together. I fell apart later, but that wasn't their fault, so I had to send the belt back, and the guy didn't charge me, because I had bought the costume, and the guy didn't charge me for anything, just shipping, so he was able to actually replace the piece with a completely new piece.
Nice.
So that was nice. I didn't have to worry too much there. There's actually less Velcro for me to get stuck on now with this new holster.
Talking about not charging you, the cool thing is it's Cosplay Repair Station is on our dime, so it's not going to cost any of the cosplayers to go get repaired at all. So
yeah, if you have a huge rip, in your pants, don't worry about needing to spend any money. They'll fix that.
We got you, boo.
So that's always nice. And then, was there anybody else that we have announced, or anybody kind of coming up?
Well, we have 2 special guests coming, and we might have a third, but that one I'm not going to release because we're not for sure on that one. But we have, as of right now, we have Matthew Erickson. Matthew has been in Gundam Seed Destiny, Hikaru no Go, and Dragon Ball GT.
Oh, okay.
And then we have, let's see if I can say his name right, Raj Ramaya. He's actually an artist. He's going to be solo playing for us. He did Cowboy Bebop and Wolf Rain's music.
Oh, okay. And I think I know what Wolf's Rain is. The name is familiar, but I can't picture it in my head.
Same with me. I know Cowboy Bebop. I just don't know Wolf's Rain, which we probably need to Google search it.
So probably.
Maybe we'll have to post a link to some of his videos on our website.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, more people would probably be interested in checking that out. And any other guests, I mean, you mentioned a third one and you didn't want to bring it up, but I'm excited just for anybody who's going to be coming. I mean, last year, Tiffany Grant, we had a fantastic experience just having her there, so I'm really looking forward to more people coming. The day that we can afford Johnny Young Bosch is the day that we finally made it big. But you do other things. You don't just do the programming. You are a photographer as well, right?
Yeah, I do. Well, I work full-time at T-Mobile, and then I have a part-time, I own a business, Sierra Elizabeth Photography. So I did actually Bellingham's anime conventions photography last year. I just kind of roamed around, took photos, which I'm doing the same thing this year. And I'm going to be doing a lot more cosplay pictures as well, because I want to get more cosplay pictures for our website.
Okay.
So it's definitely a good career. I like doing photography and programming. Organization and pictures are my thing.
Yeah. So with the photography, what got you into doing photography? What was that?
So when I was in high school, I did film photography. So we were in the black room, dipping our photographs in like liquids we don't even know of. Everything is like black light and you can't see anything. I started out in high school doing that and I loved it. And I used to be the weird kid that took photography of graveyards all the time.
Oh, jeez.
So that was me. And then I've always taken pictures. I love pictures. And then about 3 years ago, I took some family photos with my friend Mina. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, I just kind of fell back in love with it. And I actually started learning digital photography. And I do mainly senior photography, boudoir, and pinup right now. But I've gotten more into like the cosplay stuff now. Because I've like super found out I like it now. So yeah, I've been doing it for years, so.
Okay, I mean, that's cool. Photography has always sort of been, I don't want to say a passion of mine personally, but I've always really liked it. My mom got a digital camera, like our first digital camera back in 2007, and I remember just kind of running around with it. As soon as I found out it had a video camera function, that's when I started getting more interested in film, but I still really enjoy taking pictures, and just having... Because it's fun to preserve the moment, but at the same time, there's so many cool things that you don't, you don't get to see so often.
Well, I've done film myself. I've actually have helped direct some films and did some scripts myself with the Guy Cave, who did the programming videos for this last year. So I've done a lot of their films, and I was actually on their crew last year doing the Bellingham Anime Convention on top of photography.
So you had your hands full last year?
I was so busy last year, it wasn't even funny. And then I fell in love with Bacon, so I was like, yes, I'm coming back.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of the Guy Cave, if you guys want to check it out, there's going to be a link in the description of this video below. They actually just uploaded to Vimeo. If you were confused on how to do your character creation, which is the registration for this year, they created a video on how to do that. So if you check out the link below to the Vimeo, you'll find out how to actually create your character, and there will be a few other links, I think, as well there.
You get to listen to Tim's seductive robot voice.
Yeah, the wonderful character that is apparently our secondary mascot now.
Yeah.
So
I'm super excited for that as well. We have a robot, mascot here that's going to be doing like super funny things this con. So
yeah, I mean, so we have the face, which is Bella, and now we have a voice. So we're really becoming our own autonomous being just by doing that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, to see some of the new stuff that's going to be coming up at the con real soon.
Yeah, I'm super excited not only for like this year, but I'm excited for next year, because I don't know if anybody's known, but I actually have already started getting ready for next year. I have had Blizzard voice actors from like World of Warcraft, League of Legends. I've had the Funimation actors contact me, so we're gonna have like super like a massive amount of options next year for like voice actors and people coming in and doing panels for us. So I'm like super excited.
Yeah, I mean, the con has grown every single year. I'm hoping for a huge explosion of activity this year, so maybe we actually can go for those options.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking the 3 world idea that we came up with as well. It's definitely going to be a lot of running around, but it's going to be an option for us to be able to expand more than out of the anime realm.
Yeah.
I love anime, but just being able to engulf it in like other cultures is super awesome.
Yeah.
And talking about like other cultures as well, what I forgot to mention is we're actually having the local Bellingham LARPers group going to be coming over and doing a panel for us, and we may have some competitions out with boffers, as well, if we can find a boffers group coming out.
Yeah, I recall, like, at previous years, there haven't been, like, competition so much, but there was one guy, I don't know his name, but he makes his own, he's...
Trevor.
I don't think that's the one I'm thinking it was, like, an older guy. I want to say maybe Native American, but I'm not 100% sure. And he would come around and he, made his own stuff, and basically he just had like a box and you could just grab stuff and just go at it with your friends or whatever. And it was, it was fun seeing it. but I never participated. No, it was always, fun to watch. I actually had a guy I used to be friends with. I'm no longer friends with him, but he actively participated at Cornwall Park. He would go there every weekend, pretty much, and
Really?
he had his own stuff, and he would go with his clan or whatever it was, and they did all sorts of stuff over there.
Sweet. Yeah, like I know some of the LARPers in this area, and I'm still working with them to try to find some boffers. Because I honestly, I feel like an idiot. I didn't know the difference between boffers and LARPing. I thought it was all LARPing, and I was educated pretty quickly.
Yeah, I struggled kind of picking up the difference as well, honestly.
Where I'm from, when I lived in North Dakota, the boffers there called themselves LARPers. It was all medieval LARPing, role playing, swords and everything. So I always thought it was the same thing. So. But I'm super excited because the point of me having them there is to educate us on the difference, because there's so many different fandoms that a lot of us don't know about. I don't know anything about LARPing. I just know that it's super cool to watch. Yeah,
I mean, one of the few things I know about LARPing is that unfortunately popular, kind of embarrassing video of the guy throwing the beanbag sacks. Fireball! That's all I really know. And I know one person who is involved in it. I've never really spoken with them about it. I see their Facebook post about it. And then I think there was a convention I went to a couple of years ago, and there was a Final Fantasy LARP. I think it was either my first or second convention, and I heard about it, but I didn't know anything about it. I just heard some people saying, yeah, we're going to be LARPing, and something about Final Fantasy, and then I went and watched people play card games. So that's all that happened there. But I mean, it's a cool thing, how people can express themselves through it, at least. Yeah,
it's definitely something new to the whole convention, so I'm excited for that. So it's definitely going to be a year of new things. It's going to be like a whole new placement, so we're all learning as we go.
Yeah, I know. We're still struggling to figure out exactly how we're even going to make certain things work at the con.
Yeah, I got you guys covered as far as that. I got maps. I got.
I mean, one thing that I that was sort of an internal debate was, the use of costumes for staff members, because we want to make ourselves distinguished and identifiable, but some of us also want to dress up. I know I personally, I had one that I wanted to commission. I no longer think I can commission it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because the people all moved out of Bellingham, and immediately, they were like, I'm moving. By the way, my commissions are no longer a thing because I don't need... And I was like, oh, okay. I'd been in discussions with some of them, like, hey, when I get money, I want you to make this for me, please. And then... now they're gone.
Yeah, I was planning to do steampunk, because I'm a huge steampunk fan.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to wear this hat, I'm going to have this, walkie-talkies on my belt, I'm going to be all strapped up with, binders and stuff, ready to go through everything, and I was totally, we're going to get t-shirts.
Yeah, well, there was also a discussion of, wearing Moogle hats.
Moogle?
From Final Fantasy. There was, a discussion about that, or it was brought up at one point.
I'm guessing Tim brought that up.
Yes. And I feel like it might work, you could dress up and just wear a little Moogle ball on your head, at least you're... oh, man, there's the red ball. That's the person I need to talk to. So... I'm sure we'll figure it out as we go, as we get closer, because personally, I'm not a fan of being at conventions and not being in costume.
Yeah.
I mentioned in a previous podcast my most ridiculous costume was a spray-painted Nerf gun, some camo pants, and an inverted t-shirt, and some aviators, and I was a Call of Duty soldier. And that was it. So, hoping that I can do something. I don't know what.
Well, as far as me, I'm going to be running around, so I'm going to want to be comfortable, because being in cosplay all day and running from program to program, making sure everybody's got their stuff going.
Yeah.
I'm probably better with a t-shirt and some shorts.
I mean, that's true. Just recently, I was down in Seattle for a cosplay meetup, and I was wearing... some Naruto ninja sandals the entire day, and those are not comfortable.
No, they aren't.
And so we're walking around downtown Seattle. I had some extra shoes, but they were in the car, and I didn't really want to go dig through the stuff to get them out. So we're walking through downtown Seattle. I was fine for a bit of the day, but the further you walk, the more uncomfortable it gets. By the time we got in the car, I wanted to take them off really badly, but I was not wearing socks. So
yeah, it's difficult to do cosplay. You're gonna need to be like truly dedicated to do it, and I'm undedicated to cosplay.
Yeah, I've been doing it for years, so I've become more dedicated over the years.
Yeah,
there's still some things that I struggle with. I wear a lot of masks, but the thing is, wearing masks all day can get annoying. When you're wearing ones. There's one I have where the strap had actually broken off, and so when I re-glued it, not only did I glue it at a wrong angle, so it's not even like completely straight. If I wear it, it's oftentimes the mask is sideways slightly, but the other thing is that I glued it too tight. And so it's elastic, but it really it presses my nose really hard.
That's gotta be uncomfortable.
So I wear it on the side of my face for the most part, but then I'm not really wearing the full costume.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Or if I go as Deadpool, I usually have the mask up just so I can see better.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like I'm out of it. I'm not quite as immersed as I could be.
As you could be, yeah. I definitely, cosplay is some dedication, man.
Yeah.
Some of these cosplayers, wow.
Oh, God, I know.
This last year, their costumes were amazing, and I'm like, I can't even sew.
I know how you feel. I really do.
I attempt, and it's, all over the place. So I kind of, I was going to try to do the steampunk, but then I kind of started realizing, do I really want to wear that dress all day?
Yeah, I had a friend who did a lot of steampunk. He and his dad do steampunk all the time, and what he had at the time was sort of, I don't know how to describe it. It was pretty much just like a chest kind of vesty looking thing. It just covered the chest, and then some short shorts, and he wore it for some pictures once.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever wore it beyond that. And it would have been too uncomfortable to be walking around at and he had these really tall boots he was wearing, platform type boots. There's no way. It would be so cool to see it.
I would complain all the time.
Yeah, and then his dad his dad is a bit older and through his travels has kind of gained a lot of random leather and stuff like that, or just kind of animal hide type clothes. So he just throws that on. He made his own steampunk goggles. He makes his own steampunk guns. He just kind of throws it all on. He's comfortable the entire time because he's pretty much just wearing normal
clothes
they're
and
just
goggles.
Yeah, they're just they're really faded and have a lot of chains and buttons and all kinds of stuff on them. So you look at him and you would go, oh yeah, that's steampunk. He's like, I bought this in Portland.
Portland, the steampunk capital.
Yeah. It's cool though seeing people make their own stuff.
I want to see so much more cosplay this year, and I want everybody to start really getting into the cosplay contests, because we actually, what we're gonna do as well. Then this is something I just keep bringing up stuff that I keep forgetting, but we're gonna try to have 3 photo shoot booths where not only am I gonna be running around with a photographer with my photos and taking everybody's photos, but we're going to have 3 stationary photo booths, each have a different theme that we're going to be putting in each building for people to take their photos, so they can get their photos taken, and then we can have more photography on our website. So right. I definitely suggest everybody dressing up just for that. So
when you say that we can have them up on the website, is it there's going to be a set photographer at each thing, or you would have people have their own photos taken by their friends and then have them submit them to us?
No, there actually is going to be a designated photographer for each one, and then we'll probably rotate them through the photo booths because they're, like I said, they're going to be different themed. Mm-hmm. So we might rotate the photographers. So it's going to be an active day. So
yeah,
but we haven't really discussed as far as what the themes will be for them, because that's kind of on the lowest list right now. But it's definitely going to be interesting seeing what we're gonna have once we start getting everybody kind of in there and get planned on where everything's gonna be.
Yeah, right now we have a lot on paper, but we don't have a lot of visual to go on. It's just a lot of words, and I'm excited to see the visuals of everything. Yeah, that's and gonna look.
That's what I'm looking that's what I'm working on. The maps is doing visuals, so I can pinpoint. Okay, so this is where everybody is going to be. Mm-hmm. And then just kind of pinpoint. And I'm kind of organized in that way that I have to see it visually to be able to, calculate where everything is going to go. like, so far I have a fake partial map thing of the artist alley and the vendor square that we're going to be having. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of, like, visual tables that I've drawn, but all in all.
Yeah.
Which we're going to be doing it in a big gym, so they're all going to be kind of located. Emerging Artists is going to be a little bit in a different building, but the artist alley, vendors, community booths are all going to be in this big gym in the pavilion, so
there's going to be, like, a lot of space for people.
Oh, there's going to be so much space. It's going to be almost like a vendor event on top of a comic or not a comic book convention, but an anime convention.
Yeah,
so.
Like, I remember last year there was one, I don't want to say it was a complaint, but there was one guy who was showing off, I guess he did, like, stickers or something, mm-hmm. and what he had wanted was he wanted a rotating, like, wooden stand, because he had a bike that had all the stickers on it, and he wanted to have that rotating to show it all off. And there was just, like, the space was so limited that he didn't really know what to do. I think he had to have it, like, up against the wall across from him.
Yeah, we're going to have, like, a lot more space this year. Because, that's what we ran into. We just didn't have enough space for a lot of artists and vendors last year. Because we just had that one building. Well, now we have 3 buildings.
Yeah.
So we're going to be putting artists and vendors in one building. And we're going to have, like, panels in one of the buildings with those vendors. Then we're going to have the dance in that same building. And then the other building, we're going to have panels and the opening ceremony and the artist alley, the emerging artists. And then the other building is just going to be purely panels and, autograph stations and, break time areas. So, yeah. And we're actually, I think, if I've heard right, I know they're still working on this. We're also getting food vendors in as well.
Yeah, I think they've mentioned that as well, which will be really nice.
So we're going to have not only those 3 buildings, but we're also going to have stuff going on outside. Yeah. So pray for rainy days, or not rainy days. Yeah, we want a rainy day.
Do not do that.
We want a rainy day. No, pray for a sunny day, because we're going to be doing activities not only outside, but inside and all over the place. So.
Yeah. I'm excited for all of it.
And we're welcoming back Reset Games and Heroes Resources and 2 other new things that I'm just going to add all these new things that we're going to work in. We're going to have an all-day library for manga.
Okay.
And we're going to have an all-day anime video showing room.
Okay.
So those, we're going to have 2 specific rooms for those here. So people just want to chill out and get some munchies and then watch some anime. We're going to have a room for that.
Yeah, I remember my first time at BayCon, they had a viewing room, and this was at the Fairhaven Library.
Yeah.
And of course, it was like around High School Host Club was all they were showing, but I remember, I didn't really know anybody there, so I'm bored. There's anime in there, guess I'll sit down, and so I think it'll be nice, especially for people that were like me at that time. Maybe they don't know anybody, or maybe they're kind of shy, or maybe their friends are gone off for a little bit. Yeah. Just sit down, watch whatever we have going.
Yeah, meet friends there, and then, start getting accompanied, and then we're going to have the 18-plus dance party with DJ Ricka coming up that evening as well. So we're going to have a huge dance party with rave lights and everything.
That's going to be super cool.
I want those rave bracelets so everybody could just be...
Oh yeah, or like the finger lights. Where they...
We're going to have, it's going to be a lot more space for dancing as well. So instead of the last room, I think the last room got all sweaty and
hot. It was like really small, and there was like there was some computers going on, no fans. So
yeah, so everybody was sweaty, stinky, and raving. So.
Yeah, so, and there was caramel dancing as well was there. Yeah. So that was... I think that's when I left, was when they started playing caramel dancing.
I walked in and I couldn't see anything. I'm like, all right, this is not for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was crowded, but I think it was better than the previous year, because there was there weren't so many people there.
We are definitely, I have realized, just kind of watching from what you guys, or what we did last year, and then this year, and just what we're going to be planning for 2018, it's definitely going to be, we're going to be outgrowing ourselves soon.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be one of those things where eventually, maybe we have to book the, the college for 2 days. Yeah. And, in 3 days.
Have a 3-day convention, but that would be so awesome to be able to get big enough where we can actually do just more than one day.
Yeah, I mean, isn't there a convention center in Bellingham, like, right behind Fred Meyer?
I think it is, but it doesn't have, like, all the panelist rooms that we need, or, all that stuff, but it's definitely, we're going to outgrow ourselves pretty quickly. Yeah. It's going to be so awesome. We're going to be like Emerald Con before we know it. Watch out, Emerald Con, we're coming.
I mean... That would be fantastic.
If we can get like Hawkeye and
Jeremy
Bill
Renner to
Nye
come
the
in
Science Guy in there, yeah, I would totally be down for that. I'm gonna try to contact Bill Nye if he comes.
Have you actually heard he's got a new Netflix series coming out with soon called Bill Nye, where like saves the world or something like that? With and really at that point he's just giving the side eye to all these people like, climate change? What's that? There was a snowflake last week.
If you want to know climate change, go to North Dakota. You can see all 4 seasons in one day.
I was in South Dakota in December, and it was freezing, but I've also been to South Dakota in July, and I wanted to die.
Well, literally, okay, so this is my biggest story with this, and I tell everybody about this in North Dakota. So I worked at an airport, directing plane traffic in, and within an hour-long period, we had 80-degree weather.
Oh, jeez.
Snow, and rain, and fog.
How do you manage that?
I have no idea. Mother Nature was on serious bipolar day that day. Like, the day that I saw that snowflake, I'm like, it was just 80 degrees. What?
That is you know what that is? That's just people bringing the weather from their planes.
And if you've never seen lightning snow, it will blow your mind. Literally, North Dakota has what is called lightning snow, where it thunders and lightnings in the snow.
That sounds really cool and also really scary.
It is super scary. You're like, are we dying? Is this like the end of the world happening? But it's really not. It's just like a weird phenomenon that happens in North Dakota. I do not miss North Dakota.
I can't imagine many people who leave there do.
Most people leave before the winter time, actually, because it snows 10 months out of the year, so you have like a good 2 months to kind of enjoy the blistering heat as you pimple with like blisters because it's so hot, or like 100-mile-per-hour wind coming in. So you got a choice. You either deal with negative 50-degree thunder snow, or you deal with blistering hot weather with 100-degree windstorms. Pick your poison.
They're both. Man, they're so good. I don't know which one to choose.
Both.
Yeah, let's have both in one day.
Hey, it's happened. No, North Dakota's weird, but I don't even know how we got on that subject.
I mean, the weather here has been decent so far. At least.
Yeah, it was 50 degrees.
Yeah, once it started, like once all the ice melted, it seems decent now.
Yeah, I was hoping it was gonna rain because I was gonna go Pokemon Go hunting.
I haven't played in so long.
I got a Vulpix and a Pikachu yesterday.
Oh.
And a level 800 Taurus.
Oh, you were able to catch a Taurus.
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
In one day. And, like, Boulevard Park is, like, the best place to go Pokemon hunting.
Yeah.
And I upgraded my Goldeen, I got a Clefable, and I got what else did I get? I got an evolution of a Dratini.
Oh, the Dragonair?
Yeah, there we go.
See, I played around the summer and early fall, and most of the time when I played was, what I would do is when I was working at my last job, I would finish about half an hour early.
Yeah. And
I would clock out, and of course, like, I wasn't sure if my mom was going to be, I didn't want to tell her come at 8:30 because I wasn't sure if I was going to be done. So she would just come at 9 o'clock like she was supposed to. So I would clock out at 8:30, and then I had this perfect route where I could hit a bunch of Pokestops where if I walked from my work, I could walk up to the western campus, kind of walk around, and then come back and be back at work at like 9:02. So just barely over half an hour, I could make that route and hit a bunch of Pokestops. And then, of course, like, by the time I'm looping around, I'm hitting those Pokestops again.
Yeah.
Because it's been, a couple of minutes. So I was able to hit quite a few and catch some stuff. But then it started getting darker earlier, and I didn't want to be walking around, to the western campus in the pitch black, so I stopped, and then my phone doesn't like games of any kind. I was playing Solitaire on my phone last night, and it crashed Solitaire.
What?
So...
How can you crash Solitaire? That's not even a possibility.
So, I uninstalled Pokemon Go, and I'm pretty sure if I were to reinstall it, I think because you make an account,
yeah, you'd be able to retrieve it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I played Love Live on my phone when I had another phone, and I had to stop doing that because it also overheats really easily. So I would play Love Live for 5. I wouldn't even get a song done, and it would overheat, and the entire phone would just shut off.
I think you need a new phone. What kind of phone do you have?
LG G2.
That's your problem. You got a G2.
Yeah, well...
How old is that thing? That thing's, like, older than my grandmother.
The reason so what had happened was I had... What did I have? I had, like... a droid... I don't remember. I had a droid. And... It busted. It fell in water and it stopped working. So
That's not the droid you're looking for.
Yeah, so I had to send it in. And then the one they sent me was faulty.
Oh.
Like, they sent me a refurbished one. So I sent it back. And then they sent me another one. And then that one was also faulty. I was like, I want you to stop. And they said, we can offer you a comparable phone for free. Because it was, it was under warranty. So it was like a G2, or there was like one other phone. And the G2 was slightly better.
Who's your service carrier?
Verizon.
That's your problem. Go to T-Mobile.
I'm in Sudden Valley. It doesn't work out there.
You can do Wi-Fi calling like I do.
You know what? That's actually a good point. There's only like 3 phones through Verizon that do the Wi-Fi calling.
Yes.
My uncle tries calling me constantly. I'm like, call me on the house phone. And then one day it'll be like, you have a new voicemail. It's a 5-minute voicemail from my uncle. Oh, I guess you're too busy to pick up the phone. Nope, it just never rang.
Yeah, no, yeah, I use Wi-Fi calling when I go up like Maple Falls or Deming.
Yeah.
Because, well, when I'm at a place, just in case, and then you have emergency calling, so you really, I mean, during the drive up there, you don't really need your phone up there, but when you get to somebody's house, you can just pop on Wi-Fi calling and be like, I can do calls and text messages.
Yeah, I know. I probably, like, I should switch, but I also get, like, free upgrades, and, like, it's so...
I know, but I'm really biased. I'm like T-Mobile. We could totally get you, like, a plan that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's, I understand, believe me.
No, I'm super biased. Like, working there, I like their phones, but then again, I get $75 off or 75% off my plan.
Yeah, I mean,
I pay, like, $25 for my plan.
I feel like it's like that if you work for any company. I remember I worked for Cutco for a little while. Don't do it, kids. Don't do it. But I worked for Cutco for a little bit, and I went on, I don't want to say vacation per se. Like, I went with my friend to visit his family on the other side of the state.
Yeah.
And we, like, stayed at, like, this little, like, camping cabin. And we walked in, and I saw, like, they just had, like, a box of, like, knives on the counter. And it was, you know, like, they were, like, old wooden handles with, like, you know, really cheap metal blades, and my friend and I were joking. I was like, this is ridiculous, and I don't even want to touch these. And my friend's like, no, you know what you gotta do is you just gotta call up Tony, like, hey, I got a huge order for you right here. It's on the other side of the state, but I think you can manage it, and just have just make the company buy a bunch of knives from us. You know, and so now I subconsciously find myself, if I go to somebody's house and I open up their cutlery drawer or whatever, I open up their silverware drawer, and I find myself judging them like, oh, really? Henkels? You have that?
I'm not letting you into my utensil drawer.
No, it's fine, because I didn't even buy... I shouldn't say that. I did buy, like, my starter kit or whatever from them, so I have, like, maybe 4 knives, but, like, we have mostly garbage knives in my house.
Well, I'm kind of the same way when it comes to cell phones. I'm like, oh, you have a G2? Like, I have an S7, like Samsung. You need to get yourself a non-exploding phone.
Yeah. I got to fly in December and January, and... they actually have, like, big signs now that just say, like...
Note 7 no.
Yeah, it is banned, and, like, they have that, and then when you get on the plane, like, it's actually part of the safety announcement now.
You know
if you have a Note G7, I need you to give it to me right now.
Yeah, you know how much hell we went through, like, the first month and a half to 2 months with that? That was
bet.
Hell. That was so bad. But I always joke that we could always send them to the military with their terrorism pretty quickly. Just give them a Note 7. let them take out themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think is so funny is, like, So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not necessarily an exploding thing as much as it's just like it gets so hot that it melts.
Well, actually, it's not even that. What happened was, and this is the proven fact. There was one case in the United States, one out of
one.
Yeah. So what had happened was people were buying third-party chargers. You know what a third-party charger is? Basically, somebody goes to a store and picks a charger off a wall.
Yeah.
They weren't using the USB-C charger that came in the box that is actually meant for that battery.
Mm-hmm.
So what they were doing is when they were using a regular USB, not a USB-C, they were overheating the battery, and the battery was bing.
Oh, okay.
Good. But it was only in like 25, not even 25% of the phones. It was like, maybe it was like 4 cases by the time we were done with it.
Okay.
And it's just people using third-party chargers. Don't use third-party chargers, everybody. If you need a new charger, go to the manufacturer. It's easier and safer.
Yeah, but it's also cheaper.
But then I can't really say anything because I'm actually using third-party chargers.
Yeah, I have so many. Like the one that came with my phone it's long. Like, I was really happy because they actually sent me a long cord. Most of them, they send you one that's like a foot long. I'm like, I can't use this in my bed. But, you know, this one is like 2.5 feet long or something like that. So there's actually, or maybe even 3 feet long. So it's actually got, you know, some room. But I use it so much that it's kind of getting loose in the port now.
Yeah.
You know, the pins on the bottom, that's the thing I always have problems with is, you know, the more you put it in and pull it out, the pins start to, like, not pop down.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it's working for now, but I guarantee you within, like, 2 months, it's going to be falling out every 5 seconds. And, of course, the other one that I have, the other quote-unquote factory-type cable, you know, not one that I bought at Fred Meyer, I have one that I got with my PS4 controller, and I don't use that super often, so it's still a really snug fit.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to keep doing it, and it's going to go away.
The reason I'm using a third-party charger is because I accidentally put my manufacturer charger, I accidentally dipped it in barbecue sauce, and it stopped working.
Oh, I dripped mustard in my old iPod, and it stopped working.
I didn't mean to. What happened is I had the charger in one hand and a plate in the other. I set the plate down, and I walked by the plate, and the charger just so happened to lightly graze the barbecue sauce, and I could never get it out, so it wouldn't charge properly.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, darn it. So I used my charger for my UE boom for it. So I mean, it's the same charger. It's not going to kill you, but
yeah.
Still.
Like, I mean, it's the same type of cable, pretty much.
Yeah, it's. I mean, S7s aren't a problem. It's the Note 7s.
Yeah.
Just, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a Note 7, please return it back to the store or whatever you do.
One thing, actually, speaking of just electronics, so the day that I dropped my phone, my old phone, in water, what had actually happened, 10 minutes prior to that, I dropped my iPod in the same bucket of water on accident, and the iPod refused to turn on. So, of course, I'm distraught. I'm at work, and I've been there for half an hour, and I have 4.5 hours left on my shift. So, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use my phone. I put my phone up in the thing. I didn't have a speaker that I could plug into it because I don't remember why. There was a reason I couldn't use my speaker, but I put my phone in the little like food bucket that that I used to amplify the sound. Basically, the speakers on phones still aren't very good, so I boosted it all the way up, and it vibrated. And it fell right out into the same bucket of water because I hadn't had the chance to empty it yet. So, I'm just in a bad place that day. And what was super funny is later that day, I went out. Like, I called Verizon or whatever. I was like, I need you guys to work on my phone. They were like, yep, pay the fee, obviously, because you dropped it in water, so it's not covered by insurance. And I went and I bought a new iPod. And I was setting up the iPod the following day, and by chance I happened to hold down the power button on my old iPod, and I'd had it in a bag of rice too. Sprang to life.
Yeah, instantly as soon as you drop in water, put them in a bag of rice. Yeah,
and I mean, I did that. Luckily, I worked in a kitchen, so we had a bag of rice, but what was so funny is that, like, I love to compare that, because I'm using the same iPod right now.
Yeah.
I love to compare that to anybody that I've ever seen own an iPhone. Because almost anybody who I've ever seen own an iPhone, within a month, 2 months, their screen is cracked. and they have to replace it within a few months. This iPod I've owned for over a year and a half, and after it dropped in water, what was actually funny is it was slight water damage to the screen.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
Well, I'm going to be slightly insulting to iPhone users, but the reason iPhone users always break their phones is because they get the attitude of, my phones are better, I don't need screen protectors. Yeah, you do with an iPhone. I literally, you could like, ting it just a little bit, go ding, and it breaks. And I hate iPhones. I'm purely a Samsung fan. I've actually dropped this off like a balcony, and I still broke. I don't even have a screen protector on this thing.
Yeah, it's just durable enough that it's
durable. And I also have this like Tech 21 case that like I can literally like slam it.
Yeah,
and it's not gonna break anything. I literally just did that.
Yeah, I used to have an Otter case for my phone. It's that kind that has the buttons on the back, so there's not too many real cases for it, so I went on to like a custom case website maker, which, it was like $8, but the thing is, it doesn't cover the phone very well. It doesn't cover the front of the phone at all, and it's like a really flimsy plastic. Like I've actually cracked it in several places already.
So 1, you need a new phone.
Yeah.
And 2, you need a case that actually is durable.
Yeah, I mean, I like that I was able to put my own picture on it. That's nice, but you need something a little better.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, as I say, like I can use Facebook for an hour on it, and then I have to put the phone down for a while. I can't really play games on it. It's unfortunate because I go on car trips on a moderately regular basis. I can't use my computer, man. I'm bored.
Get a new cell phone. You need try the LG V20s. Those were nice.
But it was free.
You pay for what you get.
That's true. I mean, of course, I've been with Verizon for years, and it's so funny going from that progression of like that original flip phone that my mom owned a flip phone, and then she was like, it's finally time for you to have your own phone. So she activated this old one for me. And then eventually, like, I upgraded from, like, that to, I don't even remember what it was called. It was like that, it was the kind you flipped open and it had, like, the full keyboard inside. Yeah. But it also had, like, the normal face on the outside. And then eventually I upgraded to a Droid, and then I got a different Droid, because you can upgrade, like, once a year with Verizon is the thing.
Yeah, you play with Verizon.
Yeah, so, we don't stay with the same phone for too long, because there's always something cool and new coming out, but...
Yeah, no, the first day I ever got I liked my flip phone, because I had the ones you flip out with the keyboard, and you do-do-do, and...
Yeah.
The first time I ever got a smartphone, I actually was convinced to get one by my ex-husband. He's like, okay, just bear with me. We're going to get you a smartphone. But I was like a cat you were taking the toy from. I was hissing at him. Don't take away my phone. And then as soon as I got handed that S5, the Galaxy S5, I was like on it all the time. I have not gotten off of it. I Instagram, I Snapchat, Facebook. Yeah. I didn't know there was a whole new universe off of the smartphone until now. Now I'm like a tech guru at a cell phone company.
It's so funny. I used to hate like Instagram and like Snapchat, and now I use them moderately regularly. I say moderately because this phone also hates Snapchat. And anytime, like, I'll try to open up, like, the stories page, and it'll, like, go black, and suddenly it's back on, like, the camera page, or something like that, and, like, please, I just want to know what this person is doing. I want to know what this person's doing at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally gonna shout myself out here. If you totally want to look at my pictures, you can go to Instagram at Sierra_Elizabeth_photography. Yeah.
And that can be in the description of the video as well.
And my Facebook, Sierra Elizabeth Photography.
There you go, yeah.
I just had to shout myself out.
No, it's fine. I mean, we might as well, yeah.
But, we just got, like, we went from weather to, like, phones to, I don't even know what.
I mean, that's part of the fun of doing this. You just kind of go around and you realize things about yourself sometimes.
I was super, like, nervous about the podcast. I was sitting here going, I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
I usually, even myself as the host, I do the exact same thing where I get super nervous and I'm not sure, like, how the conversation's going to go. By the end, I'm usually very, very happy with the end result.
Yeah, because we're like awesome.
Yeah.
High five.
Yeah.
That was a really bad high five.
I'm sorry.
But I guess the one last thing I want to say definitely is if you're wanting to do a panel with us, it's back to anime convention stuff.
Yeah.
Back to business. We're going to be opening panels a little bit earlier. We're going to open them up on the 19th, but we're going to open them up on the 1st of February so we can get everybody in and we can start scheduling. So definitely look out for a website for that. And then also coming up, you're going to see on our website a description of Matthew Erickson and Raj and their scheduling information. And
Okay, yeah, so you guys can definitely check that stuff out. Also, remember to actually follow the social media. We kind of get like a couple little influxes every now and then, but be sure to actually follow the social media as well as share it with your friends and stuff like that. Get the word out about Bacon. It's the more people you tell, the better it's gonna be.
And the more Bill Nye Science Guy we can get in here.
Exactly.
Or we could even get... who did I want to get in? I want some Star Trek. I want Worf in. That's who I want. I want Worf. Or Data.
Maybe someday we can get Patrick Stewart in.
Oh, I would love Patrick Stewart to get in.
That would be nice.
That's going to make my job a lot better as long as everybody everybody shows up and they have a good time and they give us feedback. Definitely that's one thing. If you have feedback, message us. Like, that's stuff I want to hear.
Yeah, because what you guys have to say is what's going to make the convention better.
Yeah, who do you want to see? Who do you want us to bring? I'll reach out to anybody. Just pop me their name in, what they do, and I'll be like, okay, contact him.
Yeah, I remember I was telling Brandy last year before we got our first guest, before we got Tiffany Grant, I told Brandy, I was like, we're considering getting a voice guest, and immediately she just goes, Steve Bloom, get Steve Bloom, and of course, Steve Bloom is a man that I personally want to meet because he's my voice acting inspiration.
Yeah.
So, of course, when we brought it up again at the beginning of this cycle, it was like, I think we can afford someone more expensive, and I was like, can I just say, can we look at Steve Bloom? Is that a
Steve Bloom hasn't come yet, right?
He is very expensive for us to get.
We might be able to get him eventually. Right now, what we're looking for, like, next year is, like, Christopher Waycamp. And then we're looking at Paul St. Peter, and you can look at imbp.com, and their information's on there. And we're getting a lot of more Blizzard and League of Legends that we're looking into as well. So, yeah. And then as far as musical guests, I mean, we really don't have many options for musical guests. So if you guys definitely have feedback on like musical guests you would like to have, let me know. Message me. It's con.programming@gmail.com. Email me. Let me know your feedback because I always need help on like artists.
Yeah, I mean, there was one musical guest, and I think I had suggested it last year, and it didn't really go through. The Bellingham High School Japanese teacher is a member of the band, and he does a lot of.
Is it Flying Tonkatsu?
No. His band name is Dudes Abide. They're kind of, I don't know how to describe them, like almost Three Doors Downsy.
Ooh, we need to get 3 Doors Down.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun. I mean, he's a really funny guy. He's
nice.
He's got quite a few stories from his trips to Japan. His story about why he's allergic to alcohol from his very first trip is always fun one to hear. I don't know if I can necessarily do it justice, but hearing this grown man talk about how as a teenager he chopped down a cement telephone pole with a host family's axe while drunk on what he thought was lemonade is...
Clearly it was not lemonade.
It was not. It was lemon beer, so it's pretty much...
Same thing.
Yeah, it's like Mike's kind of stuff, like Mike's Hard Lemonade type of stuff.
But he must have drank a lot.
Yeah, because he had no clue. And nobody wanted to stop the American kid with an axe, apparently, because he chopped down a cement telephone pole.
He must have been determined to chop that down.
His story is interesting. He mentions... I'm trying to remember the exact details of the story, but he went to the beach, and they were like, who wants taco? He's like, oh man, I love tacos. And some guy just, like, a fisherman just comes out of the ocean and throws a bag of octopus on the beach and goes, taco. Because that's the Japanese word for octopus. So, of course, he's like, I don't know, man, but they're like, they're cooking it on the fire, and they're like, oh, lemon biru. And he's like, oh, that sounds good.
You should have thought biru.
Yeah,
the beer.
Apparently the first thing one of the first things he noticed when he got there was that they figured, hey, teenager. They put a bunch of hentai under his bed. They put a bunch of girly mags in his room. It was also fun to be there in the room when he came to the revelation that taking the last bath of the house is not an honor. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a dishonor, but he was like, they told me that it was a high honor to give the last bath to the guest or whatever. And some of us are like, that doesn't sound right. And at the time, there was a girl in my grade who was actually like Japanese, and her mother was a Japanese immigrant. And so he goes, Mariko, isn't it true that taking the last bath of the house is the big honor that a guest family can bestow? And she just kind of looks at him and goes, no, not at all. And he just kind of sat down and went, I don't know how to take this information.
So basically it was a dishonor.
Yeah, he found, and mind you, this is 20 plus years later that he's finding this out, so I hope maybe that he called them and said, how dare you? You probably don't remember me, but how dare you?
Giving me the last bath.
Because I don't know if you know, like, how, like, the bathing system, like, in a house in Japanese,
yeah.
Like, you like, wash yourself with, like, a shower head, or, you scrub yourself, and then you, like, sit in the bath, sort of relax, almost, like a spa type thing. But there's still some dirt, probably, in the... So, if you're taking the last bath, you're kind of bathing in everybody else's muss. So I don't know why he would think for all these years that it was a great honor to do that, but...
To bathe in everybody else must.
Yeah.
That's definitely something people do.
But he's a wonderful man who does some fun music.
Yeah, I might have to reach out to him. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, and I think I brought it up for last year, but we were a much smaller committee, and I don't think anybody pursued it. I'm not really in contact with him. He has a Facebook page, but most of the posts on it are, like, run by somebody else. I don't know why. Like, somebody else uses his Facebook profile.
Link it to me. I'll get him. Like, that's definitely stuff I like to hear. I mean, I'm definitely going to be trying to do programming next year. So.
Yeah, and I can link you to the music. I'll even, for this video, I'll even put a link to his CD Baby account down below. You guys can check out his music and say if you guys are interested in hearing it too.
Yeah, leave a comment below. Let us know if you like them, and we'll try to get them. And then also Flying Tonkatsu, I think you say their name. We're looking into getting them as well.
Yeah, and do we have them last year? I don't remember.
No, we just had SVGOC, or the Seattle Video Game Orchestra, and then we had Kakumi.
Right, Kakumi.
I love Kakumi.
That's right.
But I kind of miss her. But we're gonna look into, like, the kind of couple of bands and make it, like, super awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe something spread out. We're going to have a fun-filled day. Like, it's going to be so much stuff going on.
I'm super excited. 12 full hours of convention and just lots of great stuff. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to be dead the next day. I'm going to be like, no, I want to get up.
Sunday.
Or what I did last year, I went to IHOP right after the convention at, like, midnight. I was like, ugh.
You know what? Now I'm thinking about it, I might want to do the same thing. I love IHOP anyways. I'd go to IHOP just because.
I had chicken and waffles and just relaxed and be like, okay, on to next year.
Yeah.
That's basically how this convention's going to go. We're going to get it done and over with, and I'll be like, all right, back to the books.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually how it is. Just for me attending a convention, I'll get home from SoccerCon, I'm like, what's next on the list?
Yeah. Which, talking about conventions, I'm actually going to Emerald Con here. I'm going to try passing out business cards and talking to people.
That's good, yeah. I mean, I'm hoping I can go to SoccerCon this year. I'm not 100% sure because finances are not very, I don't have a job right now. I'm looking.
Well, you'll find something.
Yeah.
Well, this is technically your job.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't get paid for it, so.
We need to pay you.
Yeah, I know. I need to start shaking Jarrett down, apparently.
Be like, where's the coins, buddy? Well, right now we're just kind of building it up, so it's definitely definitely experience. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
so.
no, I mean it's fun, and I'm working with good people. I'm gaining more experience. You know, I can put down on a resume that I work for a nonprofit. That always looks
yeah,
good.
Technically, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how exactly to feel about answer. Oh, what nonprofit? Oh, so local anime convention. You know, those dang Chinese cartoons. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
yeah, betcha. No, yeah, I've actually thought about that myself, but I like my job, so.
Yeah.
I'm always busy. People are like, how do you have time to do anything? I'm like, I don't. Like last night, staying up till like 5 o'clock in the morning working on a website.
Yeah, exactly. You somehow made it, and you know you made it here for this as well. So that's always nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I was gonna say I'm sure you're gonna fall asleep after
No,
this.
I'm
but
gonna eat some buffalo, like dip and like veg out to like Netflix.
That sounds like a plan. I'm probably gonna do something similar when I get home as well.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, it was fun. I'm enjoying it. So
yeah,
I like podcasts.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be able to do the podcast and bring this to people, and hoping to expand it more with the mini casts as well. Going to have those going out every couple of weeks on top of this every month.
So definitely we're gonna recap the podcast here.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
So definitely panelists are opening up on the first, guys, and give us your feedback. And I'm a Sierra.
Yeah. And Artist Alley's applications are closed now, right?
Yeah, we are completely full, but the vendors are coming open soon. And then we're going to be getting volunteers here in the next couple months as well. So be looking for the volunteer section. Be looking forward to the vendor section. And the panelist is coming out first. So
all right. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, and so hopefully we will see all of you guys at BayCon on May 15th.
Go BayCon.
Yeah, see you later.